I'll hear someone talk about Phase 10 and to hear stories of people who don't even know that I'm involved with it. When I started with Phase 10, I didn't have the money. I knew nothing about bringing a game to market.
I've been hearing this other guy talk about his realistic home video baseball game. Well, I played real baseball.
The game more toys out fun.
I also played the Atari real sports football. And I love it. Because I love real passing. I've been hearing this other guy talk about his realistic home video.
Trying to lay down different phases on the table with these different cards.
This game is actually a crap ton of fun. If you've never called Phase 10.
And if a tie, the player with the lowest score is the winner. Set aside the reference cards, shuffle the deck, and deal 10 cards to each player. Phase 10.
Phase 10.
Hi, my name is Ken Johnson. I'm the inventor of the Phase 10 card game. It is the second best-selling card game in the world behind Uno, which everybody's heard of. But Phase 10 is number 2, and it's sold at most retailers throughout the world. A couple years ago, I was doing a speaking engagement about inventing at Lawrence Tech University, and one of the students came up to me afterwards and said she'd been playing Phase 10 her whole life. Her grandmother or somebody introduced it to her, and she had no clue that an African-American developed this game. And so it's rewarding to see the joy that people get from it, having a good social experience with their friends and family. That's very rewarding. And to see that happening with people all over the country and all over the world is very exciting.
Something like this.
The shorter story is I had started a game company when I was 19 in my parents' basement in Detroit, and I went about producing a baseball board game that I created when I was 12 and actually started to try to market that game when I was 19. After a year or two of going through various efforts to get that game on the market, well, it didn't do very well in the marketplace. After 3 or 4 months, I was told that it was going to be cut by Kmart, which was the distributor of the game at the time. But upon hearing that news, I decided, well, I'm going to try again with a new game. So I sat down and developed Phase 10 and went back to the buyers at Kmart, and they decided to give it a try. I wanted to come up with a card game, though, that was based on familiar concepts, much like Uno. Uno's based on Crazy Eights. So I wanted a card game that was based on a familiar concept, and so I chose Rummy. Now, the idea for Phase 10 originally came when, again, as I found out that my first game, the baseball board game, wasn't going to be successful. With that, I came up with the concept of this Rummy-based card game. I decided on the name Phase 10 and started testing it with people I knew to see what they thought of it. And with the help of some friends, we produced the packages and shipped them to Kmart and went from 20 stores to 50 and on from there.
Save a lot of dollars for you.
Most African Americans that I've run across who love or play Phase 10 are totally surprised to hear that an African American or black person is behind it. They had no clue, no idea. Anything you see in your mind you can do, you can accomplish. You just have to visualize it and then take the steps to get there. I've literally written down goals. I want to have, by this time next year, X amount of dollars in the bank, drive this kind of car. If I visualize those things, write them down, review them from time to time, it reminds you what you said you want to do and you strive for that. When I walked into Kmart's headquarters, which was the largest retailer in the country at the time, I didn't know that this was extraordinary until people around me said, "How did you do that? What made you think you could go into a retailer and get this done?" I said, "Well, I don't know, I just thought I could. I just never thought I couldn't do this. I thought this was something anybody could do." It's our own self-limiting thoughts that hold us back. There's nothing someone else can tell you that will hold you back. It's what you tell yourself that actually holds you back. And in reality, anybody can, as long as you believe you can and you take the steps to do it.